Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It is wine o'clock. Well, yeah. Definitely feels like 1 o'clock right now. It's happening. We are on all channels. Ready to go. All right, guys. Welcome back to, of course, another weekend, I guess. Welcome back to, I guess, another Friday gaming live stream of 100 Days, our favorite winemaking simulator of choice. And I have to say, I've been rather busy. And I'll get to that in a second. But first and foremost, welcome everyone to the stream. Let us know what's in your glass this lovely Friday. I won't discriminate whether it's wine, beer, spirits, non-alcoholic, whatever. Just let us know what you're drinking and who you're drinking it with and how your week was. I have the Marchese Antinori. The Antinori family are, famed in Chianti or region in Tuscany. And I actually chose this because I personally struggle a little bit when it comes to identifying Sangiovese from some types of Cabernet, and so I really wanted to get my head around the tannin profile of Sangiovese. So, contrary to today, where we're going to be playing around with some Nebbiolo, which is what you guys have been waiting for probably like the last 3 weeks, really. I'm trying some Sangiovese. We're going to try and make some Nebbiolo, and we're going to jump straight in because I have been busy. Let's have a look to see where I'm up to. What's going on here? No, starting again. What's going on? Let's try that again. Whoop. I need some wine in the glass. All right, so I realized last week on my last stream that we were basically hitting a bit of we call it the grind phase in any particular game. And so I thought I would spend a little bit of time just grinding it out and amassing a little bit of moolah so we could spend it together. I'll take you through some of the things that I've done in the game, and a big thanks to on the Discord channel Agamemnon. So for those who aren't watching this or aren't on the Discord channel, jump on the Discord channel. Lovely, lovely chatter amongst wine friends on there. It is linked in all the descriptions. So here, there's a little bit going on. So firstly, I'm famous. Level 100. And I've amassed a little bit of money. In fact, it was a lot more than this. I have spent a little bit because, you got to spend a little to make a little. But remember the case in point, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were like, I want to make some Nebbiolo on here. We've got the plot. It's going to be this plot. We couldn't afford the plot at the time. But there's a few little things, little tips and tricks for those that are wanting to play this game. That I thought I would share with you. Firstly, if you would have noticed in the last couple of streams, I was continually going back to this wine order screen and filling this. I didn't realize down the bottom here, we've got this thing called automatic order management, and that was on no. You can basically tee up this game so it automatically selects the orders for you, so you don't need to continually every single turn go in and make sure to remember to actually sell wine. You could preference private customers, private and restaurants, or literally sell to all. So that basically includes like the supermarkets style. So I'm at the sort of point where we can just preference private customers and preference the orders that they're giving us that have the lowest discount, so the highest value. We are going to change that a little bit because I've been amassing a little bit of wine, so we could get some bigger, fatter sales here. Obviously, every turn we're bringing in, 18,000 euro now because we're baller. Other things. So I've upgraded a bunch of stuff. The board play sort of area has been upgraded significantly. The winery has I think one more upgrade left in it. We're dealing with all steel tanks. We're dealing around with all the different types of casks, from traditionals to large and small casks. We haven't really upgraded all the presses because, airbag presses are just like bang on. And for every single grape variety we have, I've got a different press because, why not? And we have a commercial office, shop. So we've got a few different things. And this largely, I didn't want to sort of play. I felt bad. I felt bad playing this without you guys watching and being along with me. So I'm sorry, but I really, really wanted to make sure that you guys were actually properly entertained for this. So thanks, everyone, for joining in the chats. Alex Afer on Twitch, Justin Hess, Ben Neal, of course. G'day, mate. How you doing? No Neb today, but got Con Pira Maru Syrah 2020. How's it looking? He just did his latest releases this week, actually, Con Pira Maru. This is release season, so it's a really wonderful, wonderful time, at least in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere, for us to be enjoying a lot of new wines that are being released at the moment. So, all right, so what are we going to be doing for the next hour or so? Well, we're going to buy this thing. So this is Roque. And it seems to be, I mean, not prime for... Maybe let's see if we can't find an... Maybe there's another one I might be able to afford. Is that going to be... Nah, that's not good for Nebbiolo. That's not good for Nebbiolo. Not good for Nebbiolo. Oh, we're going to really... Not good. And we got this one, which surely Bussia. Bussia is a very famous... Yeah, of course it is. And it's also the most expensive. But screw it. Castelletto is where Vietti is, actually, in... I believe, in Bordeaux. Barolo, sorry. Ginestra. Is that... Nah. Look, the closest we got, Roque. We're going to do that. We're going to do some Nebbiolo. Let's buy this thing. Let's get it happening. I forgot. I got a bunch of tractors now. Yeah, we got some good ones too. We got some really good tractors. So a lot of this stuff has just helped us being able to get like the amount of harvest through. There's a few little key things for those that are thinking of playing this game. I've gotten a little quicker with a few things, and yes, Justin, I've taught myself a bit of Tetris in the last week. All right, what's going on? Now, let's harvest some Barbera. Boom. And I have yet to make 100-point wine. I will openly say that I have yet to make 100-point wine. But I'll talk you through it as we go through. So let's get some trimming done. We're planting a vineyard. Let's get these sorted out of the way. It's raining, so we can't really do any work in the vineyards. Boom. I feel like this got professional while we were gone. Yes, yeah, there's I believe there is a bit of luck, because I think, as Agamemnon has noted on the Discord channel, I think you just need like a really good season. I think that sort of inches you. I've gotten close. I think the closest I've gotten is like 97 or 98 points so far. So I'm going to try to do a 100-point Nebbiolo. I doubt it. All right, real estate bubble. Price of vineyards has increased. So if you guys remember that little $1.5 million vineyard, it's now 1.8 and 1, because that matters. All right, so let's clear. Let's do some plowing. Whoop. All right. So these little stars come up to tell you basically where the ideal point is to, I guess, reach for the stars, to reach for the ultimate wine. There is a lot of splitting of hairs with this game. I think that's sort of like the nature of wine in general. But it's not exactly how I would craft Chardonnay from like a winemaking perspective. But it's perhaps how it would be ideally crafted wherever this vineyard is, which I believe is northern Italy. So bringing in some decent coin, even with all of our outgoings. So pretty stoked. We're just going to keep banging along. Let's have a look. How's this? Ooh, that's nice. I'm getting my head around Sangiovese tannins. They're quite distinct to like Cabernet tannins. Very full, but quasi-rustic. That's looking pretty dope. Right, what are we doing? Got plenty of orders. Anything need cleaning? That's the other thing that I noticed. Like the difference between reaching for the stars and trying to get that 100-pointer. Like, you need to check constantly on shit that needs cleaning, because it won't necessarily tell you. And the other thing is that the health of the vineyard. So this vineyard health is at 99%. We've got 99% over here and 99% over here. And it only comes from, and this is the unfortunate thing, because the way that I would probably like to see these vines grown would be not to have to spray. But the way the game mechanics works, you kind of don't have a choice. So essentially, you continually have to spray these things all the freaking time, just to, because essentially if you get a little bit of downy or powdery mildew, it'll downgrade the quality of the vineyard, but the ramifications actually last for years, and so it is quite frustrating in that sense. Yeah, cool. What are you going to do? One thing I don't know is no matter what I choose between these things, it doesn't really change the impact, obviously, to the sweetness. There is some like low alcohol resistance, and if you wanted to go, it conks out, partway through ferment, which is a little bit weird because I got to say, like, this is very backwards. This is very backwards. In real life, the native yeast that says extreme alcohol resistance, that ain't true. It's actually more often than not the opposite, where native yeast will actually conk out a lot quicker than Saccharomyces cerevisiae. A common one, probably the most common one, would be EC1118 as a type of yeast. It is an absolute brute force of nature, and it will continue to ferment pretty damn. It's particularly alcohol resistant. Bayernus, this one here is even more interesting that they've said it's really high alcohol resistance. It's the yeast that they typically utilize in champagne. It's so close to Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it's not funny. But rather like high alcohol resistance, it's particularly more adaptive to CO2-rich environments, so non-oxidative environments. And so this is the yeast that they'll typically use for secondary ferments in bottle. So this is a little bit weird. Maybe native yeast in Barolo goes really well. Perhaps, I'm guessing. All right. Rocking and rolling. See, we're already in mass. We're starting to sort of rock through some dollars pretty quickly. So I reckon we'll be aiming to buy another vineyard pretty soon. All right, planting that Nebbiolo. All right. Cool. Oh, shit. I was meant to change planting density. Oh, well. We can just plant it again later, I guess. All right. Let's get some treatments going. Whoop. All right. Have you messed around with the yeast lad yet? No. I haven't unlocked the yeast lad yet. Is that a bit of a sneaky little tip? Is it? All right. This one's a little annoying one. Like sometimes on certain vintages, certain conditions, the amount of distance this sort of moves the ticker is sort of over the star, and there's not a hell of a lot that you can do about it. I mean, you could just leave it and just leave the natural acidity on there, but typically I find it's actually better to kind of push it a little bit further. I'm not really posing a wondrous case right now of knowing my Tetris, my Winery Tetris right now, which is actually really funny that it's called that, because like we actually call it Winery Tetris when we're trying to fit everything into the winery, particularly around vintage. All right. Boom. There we go. Oh, mate. Yeah, that's what we like to see. Yeah, chic little anise. Important to note that all the riches that we're generating right now is coming pretty much of Northern Italian Chardonnay and Arnais, which isn't necessarily known for... well, I mean, look, there is Luigi Baldana. I remember I worked at a place, GD Vira, and they had a little offshoot winery called Luigi Baldana, fantastic wines. And they produced Chardonnay, and it was fucking. They did a Riesling as well, and the Riesling was next freaking level. All right, let's. I want to use you. Oh no, I can't use you. I'll use you. So close. All right. How was everyone's week? What are you drinking? Do some bottling. Ooh. Chardonnay. All right. Let's do some new labels. We'll do 3 new labels for this week. Chardonnay. Should we get some? Come on. Chardonnay. Is that what we're gonna do? Are we gonna do like a bit of Kath and Kim action? What are you gonna do? Chateau Chunder. Oh. Should we do Chateau Cardboard? Even though it's not cardboard. They should allow like an expansion pack to this game so you can start getting into the bulk wine game. Right, let's go. The other thing that I've noticed as well, like what we decide to pack it in kinda doesn't matter. I don't know why. It kind of looks a little bit like this is goat's piss. Like, this is le piss of goat. That's why I feel a little bit awkward putting animals on a label. Like, oh, that boar looks like he's having a good time. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Chateau Cardboard. Well, you know. And... that just... I know Ben, one of our graphic designers, is watching this, and he's probably like, "No, Brendan, no, that's just not how it works." I don't mind that. It's a big chateau. So, but you know, it's all about the negative space, isn't it, guys? All right, cool. Yay, we're looking a little bit better now. Looking a little bit better, and let's go. Oh, I want to be able to lower the height of this. It just this sort of upper thirds thing is a little bit frustrating. So we've got a few people drinking some great wine. Dirty Black Denim Syrah. I haven't seen the Dirty Black Denim wines for a little while. How are they looking? Swinging Gate Pinot, Tassie. Good old Tassie Pinot. They're starting to do some heavy hitting Tassie Pinots right now. As you would have noted a couple of weeks ago, the first clean sweep, I believe last week, of any wine that we've ever tried on the show was Stefano Lubiana's Primavera. Utterly insane Pinot, like seriously next fucking level. All right, so what I do know is that when you start packing in these vineyards, when you add on another vineyard, as we did with Coste over here, which is our little Arnais vineyard, like logistics really starts to get to you, trying to fit everything in, and you can actually get employees. Is this the? Oh, this is the Nebbiolo. Oh, this is interesting. So Nebbiolo is, I wonder how they preference. Yeah, interesting. So they're going to spur pruned. So you can sort of see these 3 different types of pruning here, and there's so many different types of pruning. These are the predominant ones. These are typically what we would call cane pruned, or I believe it's pronounced Guyo, or Guyo. I don't know how it's pronounced. My training's more in Italian more so than this is obviously a French term. But cane pruned in Australia, this is what we talk about with cane pruning. So basically every single year you cut the vine back to leave a couple of little buds. The buds kind of look like this. So this would have been like your actual cane, and there'll be a secondary and tertiary bud here. So if you sort of cut that off and you leave one of these buds, or you can cut like down what we call an internode and leave sort of a bud at the base, it will actually shoot out this quite a large cane, and that cane itself will have lots of little buds as well, and they will bud out. You leave like a primary cane, so every year you'd cut back, leave one cane, wrap it down, and these will shoot throughout the year. This here is a little bit different, where each one will actually get cut down to the internode to a little bud and leave one permanent, so that you will always leave this out there. And it really depends on things like fruitful buds. So obviously, every single cane that spurts from here, it's going to come from a baseline bud. And these will, if you've got a particular vine that happens to be what we call very fruitful on the primary bud, then that's a really good way to do it, because these are all primary buds that all need to grow an entire cane and give you fruit. Whereas here, if you're laying a cane down, sometimes you'll find more fruitfulness on your 3rd, 4th, and 5th buds as you sort of go along the cane. Something like Syrah. Syrah's a really good example, where it's what we call apically dominant. So Syrah will shoot its photosynthase out super quick. So you'll typically find, say there's 3 buds on this, in this little sort of diagram, you'll typically find only your last bud here is going to actually throw a crop or any fruit. And also you'll note a difference of vegetative growth. So different, there'll be less leaves in the interior here than there are on the outside. And the way that you actually get through that is actually to slowly crack the internodes and what we call arch the canes down. And what that does is that slows down the photosynthase from reaching the end, and it sort of spreads out let's call it the energy of the vine across those canes to force a bit more even fruitfulness across the vine. This here, not dissimilar, but typically you will tend to find where you're not using this, you'll have denser vineyards, and you might preference to have more vines per hectare or per acre, higher vine density, and you'd only leave 1 cane, and then there'll be another vine, and 1 cane, and another vine, 1 cane. So 6 of 1/2 does the other. It's better for some situations than others. It's interesting that here they're preferencing spur pruning for Nebbiolo. That's not necessarily the case in Australia. I've seen really, really interesting results with cane pruning, but horses for courses. All right, there's a little segue into something that might be moderately interesting to y'all. All right, let's bottle some Anais. What are we doing for Anais? Let's do all like darker bottles. Let's try to recreate maybe one of the Unico wines. Let's call Anais. Anais is a textural white, so not Jade and Jasper. And we're going to go one of these. Oh, dude, that's... Yes. Nice. Morris. Yes. All right, cool. And Arnace Morissette, we're not leaving the goat on there. I'm feeling we might be able to go into floral territory, or maybe a cheeky bird. yes, yeah. All right, and what about like a blackbird? There we go. And blackbird on white, black and white. Oh, it's a little bit morbid, isn't it? A little bit dark mofo. What? No, black doesn't really go on much, does it? Let's stick to white. No, we got to be more fun than this. We're just a black fucking square. Yes, done. Yes. All right, and that's that's kind of cool. Like it's got a real Nick Spencer vibe to it. Negative Spencer. Something about this image just I find incredibly frustrating. Just a square inside a circle. It's just fuck it, why not? Done. Shit, we've made a lot of that. Yeah, right. Boom. And how are we looking? Let's get some. Let's get some treatments going. I want to protect this vine from the early. It's honestly what you don't do is spray the shit out of a very young vineyard, but somehow the game mechanics just work in such a way here that you kind of have to. All right, what's next? We're going to keep moving forward. Whoa. Yeah. Chateau cardboard. All right. See how we're going to fit all this in. This is where my consumption of wine as I play this doesn't necessarily win me any quick points. Alright, cool. The other thing is, it really satisfies OCD when you really nail it. Alright. That looks horrid. Alright, so that's our... What are we going to do for our Barbera? What are we going to do? We're going to go nice little dark bottle, little cheeky agglomerated cork. J-Dog, good to see your Tetra skills are improved. Except you wrote testes. My testes skills. What's wrong with my testes? All right, so our Beza. Let's. We got to get a name. Got to get a name. Waiting on a name. What is this week's Barbera going to be called? We've done a few different Barberas, haven't we? We've had some fun with Barbera. Red square. And what we'll do is what we'll do red circle, and to annoy everyone we're just gonna do one of those ones. Just a big fucking red square. Sweet Barbarian. There you go, Vladimir. That's what you get for being first. It's not a sweet wine. How we going? the bitter Barbarian. Barbarian? Question mark? All right. The bitter. Well, this I feel we could get away with something that maybe like a little fort. We can't have the flags. Yes, just the single one here. It's very British looking. There we go. We're getting some good balance here. Yeah. Now the color's gonna fuck with me. No, because I'm gonna mix it up, and I don't want to mix it up for you guys. What color is the bitter Barbarian? Yes. Yeah, totally. Oh, fuck. I'm feeling good here. I'm feeling like we're in some good hands. There you go. The bitter Barbarian. He's bitter because his castle's mauve. All right, done. And nothing else we can do. Sweet. What do we got? Nope. What do we got? Nah. I nailed it, but we just didn't have the season, people. Just didn't have the season. Right. Can't do anything. See, this is the other thing. It's like when it's raining and it's just how the gaming mechanics works, you just can't do anything. Let's clean some shit instead. This is what happens, like in a winery. Like if there's nothing to do out in the vineyard, like you go into the winery and you start cleaning shit, and evidently there's a lot of stuff to clean. No. My list Dexia just... Oh, no. There we go. And yes, I did say list Dexia. It's me trying to be funny. It's not very funny. Alright. Oh, yeah, people. That's what we do. Oi! There we go. It's got good acidity. That's the only redeeming feature of that wine. All right. How is our wine looking? We're racking up some bottles. When we get to like 12,000, I'm just gonna like hit the jets and start like selling some decent quantities. Let's get you sorted. Bang, and there we go. Cool. Cool. We sell some special order stuff. What do we got? Chardonnay, Dolcetto, Arnaise. And Arnaise, it's 85. And that Arnaise Morris. Okay. Too much cleaning, not enough whining. No, it's not, is it? It's not. Alright. Alright. Do we have anything to clean in here? No, cool. We are set. We are set to go. Yes, we are. Oh, isn't that good? Asymmetry. Sorry, symmetry. Sorry, guys, it's Friday. Yo. Getting that money. Cha-ching. I'll do you. And great. That's good. I haven't achieved anything greater than great. So I'm hoping. Oh shit! Let's spend some money. All right. Get another one. And this is the other really cool thing that I noticed with this. You can hide that, and then you can move your shit around your winery here. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Brendan, you have to make sure that the ladders are the right way around. Otherwise, maybe that's the reason why I'm not getting really good scores. There we go. There we go. Now everything is nice and accessible and safe. That's what we're all about here. All right. We're going to harvest our Nebbiolo. We're going to do some other funky stuff. Whoop. Whoop. Snooking myself. That was bad intelligence. And, yep. Good. Average. Average. Maybe because it's young. it's like I gotta harvest something else. Yeah, I gotta harvest you. Alright. Let's do some vineyard work. Always, that's the other thing. Vineyard first. Always make sure the vineyard is looked after first. Because it pays off in the long run. No. Yeah. It's not going to be pretty. This is hard when it's balancing the amount of turns each one of these takes. There we go. Cool. Do some cleaning. Great quality Barbera. More cleaning. Yeah. What are we doing? What Arnazes have you guys had before? Well, this is interesting. Well, the music probably just stopped for y'all. That's because I clicked out of the window. Vladimir's just asked on YouTube Live, what's the current trend in Australia? Do people weed the middle ground? Look, it depends on like what part of the industry, I guess, you look at. The vast bulk, and I'm talking like bulk wine here, will spray the interrow with glyphosate, and I think that's obviously because glyphosate's been phased out now. A big trend at the moment is to actually look at interrow cropping and have a permanent like sward through the interrow between rows of vines, and a lot of this is to sort of help with a lot of it's to help with retaining moisture in the soil and aerating the soil, allowing the vines to be able to penetrate even further and access, obviously, vital water and nutrients. Obviously, for organics, you can't spray like that. So, utilizing some form of basically gigantic mower on the back of a tractor to be able to keep vines low. Although, I genuinely love how the... what's going on? Someone's calling me. Spam. The New Zealanders, our lovely Kiwi friends across the Dutch, shit. Yeah, so this is what happens when you plant a new grape variety that you've never made before. You kind of got to wing it. Like, you just got to wing it. You don't have a choice. And I'm fermenting this thing, which means I've already pressed it. No, I haven't pressed it yet because it's red wine. This is interesting. Sweetness. If I could have less than that, it would be nice. But yeah, I'm gonna. You basically don't know till you make it and have a crack at it. But I'm gonna say getting tannin. I'm gonna say tannin in this thing is pretty up there, and you do want to be handling it at least when we did Nebbiolo in Barolo. It was like 2 to 3 times per day. We would do what they call remontage in French, pump overs. Basically grab the wine from underneath the cap. For those who don't know what the cap is, basically making wine is like making a giant cup of tea. The grape skins are your flavouring components, and as it starts to ferment, the grape skins get pushed up out of the cap. And to be able to actually get more extraction into the grapes, you need to get this liquid here. You need to be able to bring it up and over. So you can either punch it down, utilizing, just literally it's like a giant paddle, essentially. Or something that's probably a little bit... It's 6 one, half it does the other. There's still arguments out over, and I know there's been people that have studied this. I'm not sure if it's actually worth studying. That they say that punch downs are more gentle than this, which is actually grabbing the wine and pumping it over. It's maybe not as gentle to the wine itself, but I would say it probably does extract more than punching things down. I don't know. What I personally would depends on the size of the ferment. Obviously, something really big, you wouldn't want to be punching it down. Plus, people have actually died standing on this because a lot of CO2 gets released, and you could end up just falling in. Typically, a couple of cellar hands die every year doing that. I'm going to go like some serious tannin here. I just, Nebbiolo without tannin's not really Nebbiolo, is it? Here you go, Vladimir's coming, saying it's only punched down in our region, because you're in Georgia, aren't you, Vladimir? Because most of the stuff is done in Winery. Winery, for those who aren't familiar, underground amphora tanks. And I think it's fascinating. I think... the concept of actually having underground. Vladimir, if you could shed some light on this, actually. I believe the word in sort of Georgian... It's Georgian that they speak, right? I'm just going to sound like a real idiot for saying that. The word for skins is the same word as mother, apparently, and that they like to leave their their wine still on the skins for a very, very long period of time, which is where, of course, concepts and stuff like orange wine comes from. And the idea of it is obviously leaving wine with its mother longer is sort of like, it's like raising a child. Okay. Ooh, we got some moolah now. All right, cool. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. What have we got? And also, if you've noticed, we're not getting those really annoying people come and talk to us. After a certain period of time, when you play the game, they just stop talking to you. I think I was just skipping it too much. No, I think generally, like, the game is geared towards... We got Barbera. We want to... I think it's just it's the game mechanics thing. All right, here we go. This is pressing. We're going to increase our tannin quite a fair bit. Look, too much tannin in Nebbiolo really takes a long time to be able to mature. And Barolo needs, I believe, 18 months in cask at a minimum prior to bottle maturation of another 18 months prior to release. And then the option to mature even further. So I'm going to go there. Yeah, we'll see how we go. And let's do some other ferments. What do we got here? We're going to drop that down. Boom. Actually, I'm just going to go like Bayoness, just to see if it gives us better scores. I don't know. I have no idea what these extra ones do. Here we go. Vladimir's come back. Yeah, it's Georgian. They indeed call skins mother, but only in context of wine making. Obviously, yeah. Don't touch my mother. Don't touch my skin. Like, how long did you leave the wine with the mother? Okay. The ordinary name of skins is that Chaka? Chaka? Kaka? Not Kaka. Please don't. It's definitely not Kaka. For Georgian vodka. Should say, okay, good. Like, Georgian vodka is like grappa. For those who don't know, pretty much the hub of winemaking, I believe, was Georgia. Hub of a lot of things is Georgia. I believe the hub of actual agriculture came out of Georgia as well. The country, not the state. The state of Georgia has gifted us the wonders of Brantley Gilbert, one of the greatest bro country people in the world. Big fan of country music. It's a deep dark secret of mine. Don't tell anyone, like I just did. All right, boom, and Malo. Look, Malo in red wine. I think the Malo in context here is really about the softening of the acidity. Malo in red wine. I am not really aware of any red wine that doesn't go through Malo, with the obvious exception of things like champagne, like Pinot Noir, that is harvested pretty much like and crafted as a white wine. But in the context of this game, it's more about achieving the right little number on here. But 100% of all red wines that I'm aware of, which is the vast majority, like I said, if not all of them, ignoring the obscure, all go through malolactic fermentation. So don't believe this game and then come out and be like, oh, I wonder if this red wine has gone through. If you ask a winemaker, hey, has your red wine gone through Malo? It's probably a bit of a silly question. All red wine goes through Malo. All right, this one obviously needs to go through a little bit more than the others. And this is the other thing, is, sometimes you've got to preference the other yeast to be able to hit the perfect little number. Boom. But this game seems to love cask aging. Alright, so typically you've got a couple of different ways to go here. In Barolo, and also to a large degree Barbaresco, which is just to the north of the Barolo area. Small casks, the small versus large cask debate continues to this day, but essentially small casks were popularized in the 90s, maybe even the late 80s. Wines that are trying to go up against Burgundy. And they did that very, very well. Gaia being a key producer in Barbaresco, that's worth noting there. And so you typically do get these darker, richer, more vibrant, more Bordeaux-esque, oaky reds, big reds, out of small cask Nebbiolo. Traditional and large casks, Botte Grandi is often what they'll term this. I'm just not sure how much body you want in a Nebbiolo. Like, you want a bit, you want to be able to match the tannin and the acid. It's a power-packing little wine. Very dry, so I reckon we're going to be on the money here. I would be reticent to give it more body than this. Maybe just one more. We'll go traditional cask. Let's see how we go with that. All right, are you guys learning something? I'm having fun. Let's good old spray some vines. Yeah. All right, cool. And next turn. All right. Oh, man, you guys are cracking on the YouTube live channel. Can you hear me? I feel like a complete rube. Do you mean noob? Vitis vinifera started around these. Yeah, Vladimir. That's right, Vitis vinifera. So the genus and species of grapevine that we know gives the wonderment that is wine. Definitely started in Georgia. Bought a couple of bottles of Stefano Libiana, and I just don't get it. It's not bad, but we can't get the notes. You might possibly go over it. Give it a bit to breathe, Jacob. How long have you had it open? And make sure that is it the same vintage and the wine, the Primavera Pinot Noir, not the other Pinot Noir. Actually, there are two other Pinot Noirs, so just be wary of that. But definitely let me know. It definitely has a lot of tannin, so it actually presents, I think you'll note on the show, I actually confused it with potentially Syrah, I believe, or potentially Nebbiolo, because of it just has a lot of tannin for Oh, Nebbiolo. What are we going to do with Nebbiolo? Has a lot of tannin for Pinot. Nebbiolo, people. Are we Nebbiolo? Better off Neb. Hey, thank you for posting that on the Discord channel. That's one of the funniest shit I've seen in a while. And the fact you've got all of our likenesses is just too good. Better off Neb. And it's got to be a dark Albeza bottle. If it's not, then it's not really, you know, great Nebbiolo. I'm reticent about using natural cork because I feel like it's just gonna, you know. And what do we got here? What do we got? What do we? Nebbiolo goes really well with Agnolotti del Plin, which is, or Tajarin. Maybe we should do this. Tajarin. Tajarin is a type of tagliatelle that is very, like, it's the colloquial term for the dish in Barolo. And it's basically the egg pasta. It's like something like 40 egg yolks per kilo of flour. The only problem I have with this is the rooster is the image that they use to be able to portray Chianti. So whilst the whole egg vibe kind of suits here, you know, it's not really making a lot of sense. And the same thing with boar. Boar has been popularized in Tuscany. Cignale is the word in Italian, and they, you know, spaghetti bolognese, obviously with wild boar. So we need a imagery for this that is fitting for Nebbiolo. We could do this, and that's like a bit of a nod to Bruno Rocca. Maybe that's what we do. Yeah, I'm vibing on this. We need, and I believe it's, or Carviola. Carviola's a little bit like this. So let's go a little bit of, it's a purple leaf with the background. Can we pick up like a bit of a cheeky beige? It's kind of, it looks a little bit shit, doesn't it? It's pretty shitty beige. Oh, we can't move that, can we? It's only central. That's kind of fun. It's like the inverse of an iron fist and a velvet glove. It's more like an iron ring with a feather. That's cool. That's cool. I'm vibing on this. Here we go. We're going to go with some, and doubling up on that. How are we looking? I reckon we're looking all right. Also, I hope the Unicazello monthly box change goes well. Well, Jacob. It's going. And I have to say the team, particularly both Amanda and Elle and Ben, are pulling out the stops to be able to make sure it all works really well for you guys. That is definitely the case of being somewhat misled by the people that build these wonderful back-end systems, subscription services, and yeah, it's going to be totally easy, man. We got your back. Don't really have our back at all. If I run out of wine, shit, that's not good. I sold too much wine. Maybe we should think about getting another vineyard, hey? We kind of got a little bit of moolah and Arnaise. Yes, please. There we go. Alright. Damn, we got a lot of things to do. How are we looking there? What? Oh, this is Nebbiolo. Okay, if the characters of the terroir do not adapt to those of a vine, it's possible to remove it. Remove it using the uproot card. Are they trying to give me a bit of a hint? Oh, maybe that's what we could do to the Chardonnay, because the Chardonnay's been struggling a little bit. Maybe. What do we got? Unsuitable to... Oh, shit. How the fuck do we fix that? Or at least we know the sweetness has to be nice and low. And this gives you this little journal update. So you can quickly jump in here. And it kind of has this little heat map. Where it's like, yeah, this is where we want to see. So typicity needs to be up here. Sweetness down here. We're sort of like in We're in the ballpark. We're close on the acid. Maybe high acid is largely what it's known for, so we'll see how we go. Alright. Moving onwards and upwards. I am really enjoying this cheeky little Sangiovese here, but I've got to admit, it's kind of got an old school appeal to it, which old school's got no worries whatsoever with old school. Some of the tastiest things that I've ever tried are old school. But, kind of fucked myself there, didn't I? Oops. Whopped a bottle. No. Alright. Which one was that Chardonnay? Chateau Cardboard, that's right. Bang. Bang. Alright. I was subscribed to the monthly box until I'm dead. Oh, thanks, Jacob. That's awesome. The new system, a bit confronting. Yeah, it's a big departure, but it's something that we've wanted to do for a while. An old dopey bill like my dopey mother. Oh, that's a lovely thing to say about your mum. May just end up not renewing. No, totally. And yeah, it's one of those spilt milk things. We really, 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 really wish that never happened, but we actually don't have a way, a recourse, and that's the sort of annoying thing about being misled by sort of companies that say that they can do things, but they really can't. Like me, not being able to make a 100-point Chardonnay yet. But yeah, no, I feel you, I vibe you. There's just nothing we can really do right now. Chateau Cardboard was, sorry, no, Barbera was the bitter barbarian. Yeah, cool. And still waiting on that one. So we have a bit of a viticultural issue to fix up, but I'm actually more concerned about something else. We ran out of wine last. Oh, we got some honey. We got some almonds. Now, from out of curiosity, I believe this may have been the Saccharomyces bayanus one that we used. Possibly. And that would kind of make a little bit of sense considering it's used in champagne. So close. Oh, so close. Arnaise Morissette. Yes, please. And no, we're good there. We're good there. What vineyard should we buy next? Should we gun for Sky High, or should we just fucking send it? My OCD is sort of telling me this one. Because I just want to see, vineyards all the way through here. And maybe, just knock off these two pretty quickly. Brunate, as it sounds. Strong Nebbiolo. Makes really strong Nebbiolo. So, I wonder if we just do some Nebbiolo up here. Maybe a bit of Dolcetto. Cheeky Dolcetto on this one. Let's see. Whoa. A little bit of McCaptain. A bit of reduction. Developed reduction in this wine. This doesn't really tell me much about McCaptains and stuff like that, but it does say a new journal entry, but is there another page to this? Doesn't really. Diseases, immune activity. Maybe I've hit a point on here. So I've kind of largely gotten most things down pat now. Let's do some Dolcetto, hey? Let's, boom. Oh. Where should we do Dolcetto? Not there. Surely this should be good for Nebbiolo. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Usia, big vineyard. That's a big vineyard. Nah, not good. That is not good. It's moderately good. This one's a cheap one. It doesn't seem matched for fucking anything. I think it's... they got to do an expansion pack and allow for things like Pinot. Yeah, obviously this is really well suited for Nebbiolo. That makes sense. All right. Let's buy a vineyard. Let's do it. Let's... Shall we risk it all? Should we just risk it all and give it a crack? I'm kind of halfway thinking yes. 570, 380. Sure. Whoop. Whoop. We'll figure out what we're gonna plant in a sec. All right. Go. Oh, see, how good is that? One turn away from being in a real estate bubble. That is fantastic. Maybe I should just sell the vineyard. Can we do that? Can I sell a vineyard? Manage employee. We're not there yet. Maybe we'll get there next week. Can I sell a vineyard once I've got it? That's kind of a bit shit. Alright. Well, see how we go. Okay. Do you know, I love tannin. Whoa. Arnaise Morissette reaching for the stars right now. Do I have some stuff to clean? Hell yeah. See, this is the thing, the game hides it. And if you don't keep an eye on it, these things sort of like stack on and you end up being in deep shit. Do you own any of the Zello land, Unico Zello land? No, man. I wish. When Laura and I started Unico Zello, we had about $5 grand of personal savings. It was the year 2011, and our first vintage was 2012. Let's clean all these. Let's knock these on the head. And we just kind of, worked. I think at a certain point in time we were working sort of 2 or 3 jobs and trying to get it all sorted, and with the obviously early wines, we just kind of put the money back into the business and put our heads down and kept working really hard, and but unfortunately not hard enough to own a vineyard, because as you've seen what's happened in Australia and across a lot of the world, real estate's just gone fucking mental, hasn't it? And so that's really come on. What are we planting? Can we do I'm kind of keen to do Dolcetto, because we've got some orders for Dolcetto. Barbera, we've got all of these other great varieties. What do I need to go and upgrade? So no, we're really keen to own a vineyard, because I'm really keen to play around with some more edgier viticulture. And that's going to run me close. But to be honest, like a vineyard costs, $2 million or more. And even for a modest sized vineyard, and I just don't know who the fuck has that sort of money. I know I don't. But hopefully one day. We work with a whole bunch of really amazing growers that are willing to entertain dealing with us, and are willing to entertain doing some sort of more hardcore or different viticulture. But, it's one of those things. Head down, bum up. We'll get it done. One day. Just like I am determined to get a 100 point wine in this game. Oh, no! I gotta get some vines off. That's the other thing. Like, if you delay too long to get the vines, to get harvested, which this is really gonna stuff me now. Then I could be in trouble. Yeah, these are going to be ripe as hell. This is not good. Yeah, this is what happens when you try to play Tetris. Try to play Tetris and you end up drinking too much vino. Alright, let's see how we go. Yeah, sick. See, average. Yeah. And there was also a heat wave. All of this stuff's not good. All right. Boom. 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 Hello. There we go. This winemaking biz looks way easy. Well, I seem to make wine probably a little bit better than I play this game, Rob. But it's good to see your face, mate. 2 million is insane. You can get 1 hectare for 15 to 25k over here. That's in Georgia, from Vladimir on YouTube Live. Deal sold. Let's do that. We'll as long as it comes with Winery, let's do it. Let's go into partnership. Let's buy a vineyard, and let's just move to Georgia. I hear the feasts in Georgia, like when Georgian folks get together and party, like apparently it goes for like 3 days, and it is always a massive. That's why they have these Winery, because they crack them open, and once they're open, it's like you got to drink it all. Some of these things are like 2,000-3,000 liters. Like if you've ever tried drinking a entire keg of beer, you can imagine trying to drink an entire Winery of wine. You know, it just... Do you ever see yourself taking on investors? I'm both a Unico devout and a very fortunate business person. We'd love to provide capital to such a worthy cause. I would love to take your money, Jacob. That's very kind of you to say. Look, never really had anyone approach us, to be honest. So it is... Oh, wow. We got a lot of body. Never really had anyone approach us, to be honest. I think the wine business itself is not, I've got to be honest, not the greatest investment. Because some years can be absolutely... Like you would probably not want to be buying into a winery in like 2019, 2020. Obviously bushfires wiping out, whole vineyards and whole harvests for people. Plus, I think there's also something a little bit funny, talking candidly and openly with you guys about like investing in a company like ours, because, I mean, look at me right now. I'm playing a winemaking game and live streaming it. This is not a very wine industry thing to do. It's not really... Yeah, and so for a lot of people that invest in the wine industry, they invest because of the lifestyle choice, and that's quite a, and they invest because they love the product or they love it, and that's completely legit. Like no one is tracking crap on that stuff. But when you look at what we do some stuff that's really uncouth, and that tends to freak people out a little bit. Let's go hard. Ah, yeah. Long fermentation. That's the other thing about Nebbiolo. Extended maceration. So once the fermentation subsides, I talked about fermenting before. Once the fermentation subsides, then they will typically just, probably even put a lid on it, try to seal it up, and they will leave it on the skins for upwards of, 60 days. The cap itself will gradually submerge itself, and that's to extract a different kind of structure and tannin. So we're really going to go pretty hard on the tannin on this one, just to see where it leaves us. Yeah, we want to do some of that. And let me start my little winery first, and we can cook up something. Yeah, hell yeah, Vladimir. I'm all about it, man. As soon as you've got a winery started up in Georgia, I've never been to Georgia. Has anyone watching or on the Discord channel, has anyone been to Georgia, the country, before? Please tell me what it's like. I am absolutely fascinated. It's one of the most... I've got a really good friend over there making wine, a guy, Aidan Rafferty, who owned an amazing wine bar, and he's just one of the most amazing human beings. He owned a wine bar in Melbourne called Percelard, and he sort of sold up everything and, got the hell out of Dodge. See... I want to be at a prune. This is really going to screw me. Yeah. Thought so. Oh well. We'll just wait. He moved over there and he started up a winery in Georgia, an Aussie in Georgia, making wine. And he's one of those, really I say this endearingly, one of those annoying friends that keeps posting shit up on Facebook that is, like, fucking amazing. Like, some of the stuff is absolutely amazing. Why are these fermenting for so long? Do I need some more stuff? How much are you able to ask growers to do certain things you want? Good question. In some growers, first things first, money talks. That's just the way it is. So if you're buying a small amount of grapes, well, you're a small amount of importance to a lot of growers. As much as, and I don't mean that like there are growers that just don't give a shit about small people. That's not the case at all. It's just more so if you want to, you know, ramble into somewhere and actually say, hey, I want you to do this. He's like, yeah, but, you know, I've got other people that take those grapes as well, and they don't like me doing that. And so, like, it is quite reasonable. I've seen before. The more you grow, the more plenty of growers that we take their sort of entire blocks, and they're very open. They're like, hey, you know, you're the one that's paying and buying for this stuff. How would you like me to grow it? And that's where you start doing, I guess, a bit of a fun little dance, because you don't want to be doing anything to the vineyard that is inherently going to damage it long term, because unless you roll in with a long-term contract and they can see, you know, you want to put your money where your mouth is, absolutely. But yeah, it really depends. Like if you're going to come in and be like, I want you to convert to biodynamics, and I want you to, oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Oh yeah, sweet as. Oh wait, no, I did want to do that. Sorry. Like, it's a big investment to look at anything like sort of certifications and stuff like this. And, you know, if you don't own it and they don't believe in it and they're not in it for the long run, like a lot of growers that we deal with are in their, you know, 60s and 70s, because it's the unfortunate case in Australia, and I would say this is probably very similar to the rest of the world. Yeah, we knew this vintage was going to be pretty shoddy because I fucked up the timing. You can say this about a lot of the rest of the world. Like, farming's just not cool. I mean, I think it's cool. I think you think it's cool, but farming itself just isn't cool for a lot of kids. And so, the next sort of progeny of a lot of these growers, they're not interested in taking over the farm. We see this obviously with our work with native ingredients and a lot of native ingredient farmers. They started off in the 70s and 80s. They're just not, a lot of kids aren't really interested in taking over those farms. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So I think a lot of growers, you know, if you're in your 70s and you've been doing this for quite a while, I don't think you're so keen to grub up the vines or group of vines that you've been looking after for, you know, the last 50, 60 years, or your family is looked after for significantly longer, and plant something completely different when you're probably going to see it for the next 10, 15, hopefully, you know, 20 years longer. You know, farming is a tough life. I know a few farmers that have lived to ripe old ages, but not many. So, yeah, it is, there is something to be said about that, for sure, you know. Do I want to? Yeah, I want to do it less. Yeah, there we go. Aiden Rafferty, right? Cool guy. Oh, do you know him? Do you know Aiden? He's a legend. He's a fucking champ. Tell him to stop posting, like, delicious pictures on Facebook. It's annoying me. No, I'm glad you know him, and I hope he's a-okay. All right, what are we doing? We're gonna go high with the tannin. Let's go full blown. Let's just tick that box. Yeah, let's just tick that. 15.5. You know, a lot of people consider, you know, anything went north of 14% high alcohol, and that they go, oh, European wines are all lower in alcohol. I encourage you to go to a bottle shop and just look at the line of Barolo. guaranteed you will struggle to find any less than 15% alcohol. They are all quite alcoholic. And that's been a growing trend, not just because of global warming, but for many other reasons. A lot of them either political or based around Robert Parker, our mate Robert Parker. What's going on Insta Live? You try one of his wines. Pretty unique take on Georgian grapes. I think his wine is called Igavi. Igavi, amazing label art too. Yeah, he's a bit of an I mean this endearingly, an aesthete. He definitely gives. He loves the aesthetic, as anyone I think that comes out of Melbourne, straight out of Melbourne. Very cool. Doo-doo, boo-boo. Yeah, we knew. We were running towards it. We're getting. The game actually does a very good job of punishing you if you're complacent. Because I've spent a bit of time now with this game, and I have to admire it for the fact that they have set out to make a simulator, and it's definitely a sim. This is they've, as much as you can make wine captivating. They've definitely managed to achieve that. All right, what are we doing with this? We're already at max everything. We don't need any more body in the wine. We're already at max everything. I wonder if I'm very low on acid. That's going to hurt me. I'm not going to win any points now for that. There we go. There's our little rip-off Bruno Rocca. And we've got to get some treatments underway. That's... Ooh. Oh yeah, no, because I'm already doing it. Cool. Got to argue against that. You're actually... Oh, mate. Thanks so much, Jen. You're making wine accessible. Thank you so much for that answer. It's something I'd never thought much about in the wine industry, so it's super interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, we're trying. And I guess the next big mission for us is to kind of make farming, just as a whole, actually really cool and really captivating. And sort of part and parcel of the reason why we're doing, stuff like this. We're doing a gaming stream. A, because I like playing games. B, because I think it's kind of interesting. And C, because I actually think it's relevant to next gen. Like a lot of us, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching, you probably grew up playing games of various eras. I grew up in the on the cusp of Sega. We never really got Sega. I think I had one. It was a while ago. But I grew up with N64, GoldenEye, that was the thing. My first, I never grew up with a Game Boy without color. Oh wait, no, I lie. I had Game Boy Pocket, but not the OG Game Boy. wasn't allowed that. And so much of our world has been interpreted through the lens of games, which I think are actually they're good for learning, and that's simulators in particular. You haven't lived unless you've fucked with people on Sims, and I think that the idea of fucking with someone on a sim kind of gets something visceral out of you, so you don't become a psychopath later in life. Maybe that's just me. All right. Where are we at? We're almost done, people. I still play SNES. Yeah, man. So SNES, some of the games on Super Nintendo, particularly, I want to say Sonic, but Sonic was Sega. But I'm pretty confident they released something on Nintendo. But correct me if I'm wrong, people. I'm more than happy to be corrected on that. But we used to run SNES emulators all the time. Obviously, computers, wonderful things. So you play a lot. Agamemnon, you're such an interesting individual. There you go. So I'll tell you something. The first wine that we made was this Dolcetto, and it had so much acidity that I would have given this 52 out of 100. No, not doing too well. I gotta get these vines a little bit older. But look, we're at 400. I'm gonna play this throughout the week. I'm going to leave you guys to your weekend. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the questions. Come armed with questions as well next week, because I don't mind playing this and opening up a little bit to you guys about sort of what goes on behind the scenes. Who didn't remove the ladder is the real question. Wait, who made a sim swim and removed the ladder? I know, we should just like freak them out all the time and close them in rooms and take out doors and shit like that. But guys, no, I'm going to leave you to your weekend. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm going to play this through the week. We're going to try to, the next goal, we're going to buy all the vineyards, and we're going to see how badly this mucks up workflow, so we can start to understand the dynamics that big companies play with managing multiple varieties, managing multiple vineyards that are all ripening at different times or sometimes all at the same time. And we're going to see how that actually reflects on playing on the game. But guys, thank you so much. Hopefully you are all enjoying wondrous glasses of wine, pints of beer, or something non-alcoholic to welcome in the week. Hope you guys have had a great Friday, and hopefully I've been mildly entertaining and wildly educational, or vice versa. But have a good one.